Hello everybody, it's Mr. Echo Fox here, and today we're going to take a look at Dungeons of Dredmor, a brand new roguelike game which has graphics and a sense of humor, as you can tell by the frantic squid trying to eat my feet there in the picture, and it's made by Gaslamp Games. So let's take a look, shall we? Okay, here we have our difficulty setting as well as permadeath. It's not a roguelike game without permadeath, so although every once in a while I'll play without it, but in the spirit of roguelike games, we'll choose that. You'll also notice that the audio and video may be out of sync. That's because I had to re-record it because of technical difficulties. Okay, so here we have our skills screen. There's very different skills giving you proficiency in certain weapons. I choose the sword as well as the crossbow. And then I'm going to go with, I believe I chose Mastered Arms, which makes my armor more proficient, which is always good. I want to stay alive as long as possible in the dungeon. And then I also go with Artful Dodger, which allows you to evade enemy attacks more easily, and that's always useful. And then I go with Smithing, which allows you to craft your own weapons and armor, which is always awesome. And Alchemy, which will allow you to craft potions and healing items, that sort of thing. And then of course Assassination, which allows me to deal critical blows to monsters and other cool stuff you'll see later on. So I put in my name here, the one and only Mr. Echo Fox, that's me. And the age is long past. Great heroes bound the Dark Lord Dredmor in the depths of the earth, that his evil would trouble the land nevermore. Alas, the foul-lich Dredmor proved most devious and patient, for he has been loosening his magical bonds, slowly freeing himself to gain spread his evil in the world of light. He must be stopped again. I have to apologize because I'm like half asleep. Once more, it's time for adventure and glory. It's time for a hero. Unfortunately, that hero is you. You have been summoned by the king to prove yourself and save the land and its people, to join the heroes of legend over Dungeons of Dredmor. So let's get the adventure started, shall we? So here we are, we've arrived in the Dungeon of Dredmor. There are several dungeons, that's why it's called dungeons. And well, let's see. We start out here. We're going to start out, we got our food and drink vendors. This game has a notorious sense of humor. I guess it will be notorious soon. It's very vague in the description of potions. Food's pretty generally safe to eat because you know it's going to heal you. But some potions will instantly kill you. They'll have different effects, and it's wickedly twisted that way. So sometimes you'll find a potion that may, say it's going to, heal you, but it might just end up killing you. Down here to the left we have our, or up here on the left we have our character sheet. We can equip weapons and armor here, as well as rings and necklaces or medallions. To the left of that we have our resistances. Below that is our melee attacks and our ranged weapons, and then below that is our level as well as our classes. Now classes are indirectly affected by the skills we choose. So depending on what skills we choose determine whether we're a rogue, wizard, or warrior. Obviously I didn't use any magic in my skills, so wizard has no points within it. Down below that is burliness, sagacity, which I probably said wrong, nimbleness, cattishness, savvy, and stubbornness. These are your general cliche, or not cliche, but your general standard attributes like strength, speed, agility, your ability to dodge enemy attacks, your critical hit chance, your sneaking, that sort of thing. Over here to the right we have our inventory. Depending on what classes or skills you choose, depends on what items you spawn with. We spawn with an alchemy box, as well as a smithing kit, and I believe an iron ingot thing. I don't remember the name, but anyway, here are the items that we can craft with our anvil, and there's tons of them. Weapons, armor, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. And here is what we can craft for our alchemy box, all kinds of different potions. And there you see the screen there, it's got a crafting box. And we're going to click out of this, and we're going to go fight our first monsters. And I guess I should explain down here to the left is your belt. You can have certain hot items, I guess, there, like your food, healing items, that sort of thing. And once you right click, I also have my bolts down there. You can right click ammunition and it will be activated, and you'll see it over there on the left of the picture, which also reminds me of Doom or any old school game. You got your guy looking around nervously. And here I run into my first battle, a Diggle, and unfortunately Death, which is actually a pretty decently, I guess, a very strong enemy to first fight. So I take a few hits, and then I hit him myself a little bit, and then I run away to regenerate my health. Like any rogue game, your health regenerates per block or tile you move. So I run back, I get some healing items, and then I run back again to attack. And then the Diggle is pretty easy to take care of after that. Diggle are pretty common. They're probably the most common enemy in the game. You also notice that when you're doing permadeath, you can't save and continue like you can in regular non-permadeath game mode, I guess. Also here I'm explaining about the health regeneration, and also a good thing to do if you don't want to use all your potions, because sometimes it can be scarce when you first start off and you don't have a lot of money, is you're going to want to move around a lot because you'll regenerate health that way. Or you can use spacebar. Now to move, you can use your mouse, you can use WSD keys, you can also use the arrow keys as well. So however you prefer to play, all the options are there. In this room I found a brand new crossbow, which does more damage than my current one, as well as a sword over there to the right, and I will shortly be equipping these. I should probably edit this video accordingly, but I'm lazy and I'm really tired, so it's probably going to go up as is. Hopefully, if the audio is synced properly. So I've equipped these brand new weapons, and I'm looking at these little targets here. They say funny little things on them. I think the one at the end says this last guy was a horrible shot. And then I'm going to disarm a trap. You'll find various traps in the game. You can disarm them if your skills are high enough. And if you don't, you epically fail and you get attacked like that. The good thing about traps, though, is they are also triggered by your enemies. So sometimes you can run away and avoid a trap, while the enemies will not avoid it and run right into it and take damage, making the battle that much easier for you. Here I find a couple bolts, so I'm going to take those gladly. Always can use more ammo for my crossbow, so I'll gladly take those. Now the money the game uses looks like gold, but they're actually Zork mids. I don't know if that's a tribute to the original text adventure game called Zork. Some of you might be too young to have heard of it. It's an excellent text adventure game. Some of you might probably be bored if you played a game like that, because there's no graphics whatsoever. And here I find a lutefisk statue, and I have no idea what that thing does, but it's cool and it's random, so that's always good. And here I run into a blobby. Damn you, blobby. Why do you have to be so blobby? You're depressing me with your blobbiness. And I shortly make work of this guy. I think the video is starting to get crazy. And here we find a bookshelf. Bookshelves will allow you to acquire new recipes, which can make potions and different items, which is always cool. And I find a mana potion over here as well. It's not called a mana potion, but I believe it restores my magical powers, so it might as well be a mana potion. Here I find a chest. I promptly bash it open, only to find that there's nothing in there at all. So, complete waste of time. Thank you very much. Bash the barrel open, and then there's another chest here as well. And I find a cracked orb. This cracked orb is in fact a shield. Shields are awesome because they're shields, and also because they add additional armor, and sometimes they add a chance to block more. So that's good as well, in my opinion. So let's go through this door, and holy crap, that's a lot of diggles. That's what she said. No, I don't think that applies. Anyway, this diggle here in the front's asleep, so I promptly shoot it in the face, and then they all come attacking me, and I run away like a coward. For a little bit anyway. And then I attack again. And they have been defeated. And this guy, I think he was stuck on a trap, so he's gonna die soon or something. He was just standing there. And there's absolutely nothing back here, so let's keep going. Now I run into this room and there's way too many enemies. But somehow I managed to kill all of them because they're stupid, and half of them run into some sort of trap. Actually, I think it was the bolts I was using. I think they were poisonous bolts, so that always works in my favor. And we found some lutefisk. Alright, so let's make our way to this other side here. And let's pick up some cheese. Why not? Some delicious cheese that restores 10 health points or hit points. Whatever you want to call it. And there's a blob and a little baddie. They all look so cute and innocent, but they're vicious and evil. And they all need to be destroyed. And I am promptly shooting them with arrows. And I think I've used the word promptly about 1,000 times, because I think it makes me sound smarter than I really am. Anyway, there's a drink dispenser here, but I have no money because I'm a poor son of a bitch. And then I try to disarm a trap and it blows up in my face, which is my life story. Anyway, enough about me droning on about my pathetic life. Here we find, where am I going? I don't even know anymore. I believe I'm talking about this picture in the middle, how it reminds me of old school games like Doom, which I pretty much said before, I believe, which is awesome. So this might be the worst video I've ever made, but if you guys like it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up for being awesome and getting Dungeons of Dredmor content, even if it took me 8 hours to record one single damn video, because Fraps and Cam Studio and a various other slew of video recorders would not record for some reason. Maybe I'm an idiot. I generally think of, holy crap. This is where I run into an army of diggles. So I try to run away and I attack, but then there's some of them I think, no, okay, they don't run into the trap. I think 3 of them did or so. And then the rest I take out. See, I'm running away not only because I'm a coward, but because while you run away you regenerate health, and it's just a smart thing to do. So I run away, I kill that guy, and then I level up. Once you level up, you can put more skills or points in your skills. You can only choose from the original skills that you chose in the beginning of the game. And while that may seem a little limited, it's not, because there's a lot of stuff here. And I believe I choose one of the assassin skills, because I believe it was a sneaky shiv, because sneak attacks are awesome. And what more can I say? It's called sneaky shiv, right? And the picture even shows a little guy getting shivved in the back, which is also pretty great. And then I take this blobby out. And I guess I did not dispatch these guys. They're still trying to come after me. So I'm going to come over here and get attacked by another blob. A blob of doom and despair. Wouldn't be surprised if they called it that, but it's not. And I pick up a couple bolts there. And I think that's going to be pretty much it for this game. I mean, you've pretty much seen the basics. It's a roguelike RPG adventure comedy adventure game. I think I said adventure twice. I'm just gonna make up words for this. It's super fragilistic epicness of a game, and it's probably about its cheapest game you'll find on Steam right now. It's about $5, I believe, and I remember it being on sale as well. And there's no excuse not to get it if you have $5 laying around, or I guess you can't just go and buy it. You gotta have a debit card. So, kids, go ask your parents to buy this if you have to. But it's definitely worth it. Like any game, it's worth more than you actually pay for it, and that's the defining, I guess, the defining trademark of an indie game, is because you may pay $60 for a commercial game and be horribly disappointed when you go to play it. But generally, when you pay for an indie game, I think on average the most I paid for an indie game was $20. And like I said, they're always worth it because the indie industry just knows what they're doing. They're making great games that are fun to play, and they're not trying to spread any propaganda, and they're not worried too much about revenue from what I see. And, you know, it's not motivated by anything, you know, monetary. It's all about the passion, the expression, I suppose, and just the enjoyment of playing games. And I mean, that's what we are. We're gamers. And I think at some point in the commercial industry, yeah, this is turning into a rant, but why not? Some point in the commercial industry, you know, the games start out really good and they have, you know, a good concepts, and then the salespeople come along and say, "Where's the gimmicks? We need more gimmicks so we can still sell to, you know, dumb, pimply teenagers." Now, I don't mean to offend anybody by that, but that's kind of their mentality. Like, we need more deaths and explosion and violence, and we need this game to be realistic and have the best graphics ever, or no one will buy it. And then they just, you know, put all this other bells and whistles, and then, you know, the game is only 8 hours long, and then they want you to download all this content, which costs additional money, and generally you're just not satisfied. And I don't know, I just got tired of it. And Minecraft really is what spurred my interest in indie games, really. And ever since then, I've kind of just pretty much all gone indie games. Every once in a while, I'll buy a commercial game if I think it's worth it. But for the most part, I'm all indie, baby. Anyway, I've been Mr. Echo Fox. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like. Go check out the website, gaslampgames.com/blog, I believe. I don't know. I'll leave a link in the description. And just, you know, if you like this game, hopefully I've given you, you know, at least a glimpse of what it's like. If you enjoy rogue games, roguelike games, I should say, you'll enjoy this game. So it's definitely worth every single penny. And not much else to say. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.